Okay, so normally I wouldn't tackle this kind of stuff, but seeing as how they are one of the biggest sites on the internet, and these technically do count as movies, I guess I'll give my thoughts on them. And like I know how that's kind of pointless, but um, I'm gonna do so because I want to get something out about that guy with the glasses, and that's an unpopular kind of topic to be discussed on thatguywiththeglasses.com because uh, that guy with the glasses is kind of they're not very critical friendly. Like it's kind of a that's kind of a shock since they're a critic. They express that site is mainly for expressing their criticisms at something, and I say that because I noticed that there's a lot of backlash towards that guy with the glasses.com is mainly because um, they kind of delete or they ignore criticisms of themselves when someone like looks at their works and gives like a little bit of criticism. I heard that the people there are kind of they've kind they're very like sensitive to that stuff, especially Spoony, who I used to respect until recent events. But anyways, um, so I'm gonna take a look at these two works because it technically there are movies, and the first one I want to talk about as well. The first one is Kickassia. Uh, what's let me see say what not so sure what to say about Kickassia, but basically the plot is to this movie is the nostalgia critic gathers around a lot of the reviewers on the site, and he plans on taking over a small patch of land called Molossia, which is a separate country that's inside the U.S. And that is true. Actually, they actually got the guy who owns Molossia to play a part. And basically, all they do is in the movie is they take over Molossia, they rule it, then the regime is immediately overthrown because of inside conflict, and President Ba like does some stuff. But yeah, I mean, um, now that I think about it, it's not. That's not. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like a very, very, very poor version of Game of Thrones. So yeah, I mean, okay, ignore that like weird comparison. Uh, Kickassia, it wasn't really that funny. Like a lot of people said it wasn't funny. Really wasn't. Most of the time, it was poorly timed jokes. Like I remember the joke that really didn't click with me was there was that time where they were charging the base the second time, and they discovered that President Bach can like teleport, and when he was teleporting, he was like, you know, he's swinging his sword and he's like punching the critic, and it's supposed to be kind of funny because you know he's teleporting, but it just kind of comes up as corny. And also the part where Lee turned into like 3D Lee for the first time, that one was kind of corny too, and it wasn't really well built up in in the movie. Like they kind of built up in the trailer that oh it's Lee, he's gonna be human, well 3D in this movie. It was the payoff was like meh. And besides the poorly timed jokes, the story it's kind of like it's not very interesting because you know you kind of you kind of expect the twists and turns like um yeah, like I said, you kind of expect the twists and turns. Like most, this movie is mainly built up of like them telling jokes. Like they have a plot point, they'll tell a joke. They have a plot point, they'll tell a joke, and a lot of the jokes aren't very funny unless you actually know the memes and know what they're talking about. Like you actually know each reviewer, their style, and the jokes they put in their reviews, because there's a whole mishmash of inside jokes that a lot of people who have not heard of that guy with the glasses, they would not understand some of the jokes, like Film Brain shouting symbolism. Like that's something that you'd have to know the person to understand why it's funny, which is kind of why Kickassia kind of fails in that regard to being funny. Like as a fan film, for the fanboys, fangirls, it's not bad, I guess, because that's exactly what they're expecting, them making jokes. But as someone who's just walking into the site, I don't suggest they start with Kickassia. They have to know each reviewer, and then they can watch Kickassia and appreciate for what it is. For me, I don't like it, and I actually my like for it actually went down a little bit more when I learned that they use a lot of donation money to make this movie, and they didn't do they profit? Like I think they do because like Blip TV gives them money, so I don't know how much they exactly made from this movie. So yeah, I have to research more on that one, but yeah, they actually had a pretty big. I think they had a pretty big budget to this movie with all that donation money. Yeah, someone has to fill in the numbers for me. Um. Anyways, so that's my thoughts on Kickassia. It's not very good if you're just like going into the site, and it's kind of mediocre if you do know the reviewers. So yeah, I don't. Second year anniversary was kind of a miss.